Hey all, thanks for joining me today. In this video, we're making a Power Rangers Lost Galaxy Magna Sword Magna Blaster designed by me, Mr. Campbell Prince. And as always, there will be links down in the description where you can download this and buy the physical model for yourself, and you know where to check it out on all the famous platforms. Now, this has been one of those projects I have been waiting to design. If I'm honest, the Magna Sword Magna Blaster is probably my second favorite Power Ranger weapon of all time. Saba's still got to be the first one by the White Ranger, but this is a very close first, but I got to put it in second. The videos have been taking a while because I really wanted to design this to transform, be an all-in-one rather than two separate pieces. So as you follow the instructions and follow this video, we'll crack on with it. Now this is the blaster mode. Now there is a different design. The version you're seeing here is slightly different. Where this slides into the bottom piece, I have aligned the slice such to cut, split it in half to a line so you don't have to force it in and hook it over the edge. The slot or slash, or the where I've cut it, as I'm showing my finger, is where it'll be a bit lower down, so you've got to do is push it in. And then when you do it, just slide it up and down just to release that friction and not make it so tight. You can if you want, but a bit looser is better. And we'll do the same on the other side. I've done that with both. This version, as you've seen for this whole video, this is the first version. I've made all the adjustments and amendments, so every time you see me struggling with something, I have gone back, and the file you download or when you buy it will be different from this, so you have a cleaner, more precise version to put together. And as you can see, they slot together perfectly. Now designing this, like I said, this was super tricky. As you'll see later on, there's ideas and concepts I've never done before, and I tried it first time, and you know, we'll see how it turns out. Now you do need a drop of glue here and there just to put it together. Most of it will need a bit of glue, but there's a lot of friction fitted parts, just depending on how much you want to do and how much you want to use. But this end goal piece is all on of it. And I will say all these parts are the painted versions. All I had is black, white and bronze filament, so all the gold parts were originally white, and I thought, you know what, every time I design a model, you see the raw color print version, and I wanted to show you what it looks like when I do paint my models. So every single item, everything in here is all been painted. So the black has been painted and finished in gloss, same as the gold, same as the bronze and the silver parts and the green parts, as you'll see later on. Now the connector parts, so the connector parts that you're going to have with these files, they are not needed necessarily to hold the structure and keep it strong. It's just more for alignment, because you know, when the parts are split, if something's slightly misaligned, it affects everything else. So use them as you wish. If you want to use the connector parts, please do. I have in this video just to show you how it's done, but it's not necessarily needed. And the same with these connector parts for splitting these halves, there are 2 rather than 3 pegs. So as I said, I've reduced it and I've changed it. And with these gold strips, they are slightly different. One of the ends is tapered / angled and one is flat. So the angle bit goes towards the butt and the end of where the barrel will be, as you can see here. So it just fits in line and shape, but you'll notice it once you put it in. You'll see that if it doesn't fit, it looks weird and doesn't fit properly one way, and it will fit better the other. When you put them all together, say glue it, take your time, let it dry, let it set, and then it's as simple as putting tons of glue everywhere but where the actual the cocking mechanism is at the bottom. Just avoid putting it there because you'll get it stuck, and it defeats the purpose of having it move up and down if you glue it there. You do glue the 2 parts together, but don't put it in the little slat, the little groove area, and then all around the edge, put it there, sandwich it together, and then it's stuck, stayed, and should be what it is here. As you can see here, works really well, works really smoothly. The barrel bit, just pop it in. You don't need glue. This was good friction fitted, but if you want to glue it in, by all means, please do. And that is the blast mode. This also does double up as the holster / the sheath scabbard for the sword in the show. I haven't made a fire attachment. I was going to make it, but it became really bulky. You can add string and stuff wherever. Now, if we get onto the assembly, the decals. So I did want to keep it in rings. So each of the black parts here, they align within the gold trims, as you can see here. With a bit of camera magic, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. And this is how it should look. You do need some glue. As you can see, there's the white original parts there. Now, this bit I'm holding here, there are 2 versions. There's the one you'll see in this video, and there'll be another one with a more solid base, which allows the blade part to not only be a bit thicker and stronger, and I have printed a solid part, so if you don't want to have the extendable sword version, which I got here, you can do 2 halves and do it like that. It's completely up to you. The handle, now there are the main part of the handle here. Now these holes and pegs, I did originally design them for this part, so when transforming into blast into sword mode, the handle stays in place. But as I figured out, at the end of this video and through this video, it holds perfectly without. You don't need the pegs to pop in and out. It doesn't have one secret peg pop out and hold it in place and one other secret peg pop in and pop out, and it just wasn't needed really. So I've completely removed that from the design, so you just not need it at all. It is really tightly friction fitted. Now, one thing I did design, and probably over design, you'll see later on in the video, will be the triggers, which you'll see later on. I'm just adding all the black decals now. Now these again are friction fitted. They are really tight. You pop them in. These are the little black highlights within the butt of the sword handle. I don't think it's called a butt. I don't know what it's called. But the end of the sword handle, basically. And then there's obviously the decals to go with the silver, the black rings that do need to be glued in place. They did slightly hold friction fitted, but just to be safe and sorry, I will put a bit of glue and then you're good to go. Now, please like, share, and subscribe. A massive 95% of you are not subscribed watching this video. Now, these triangle bits, as always, put a bit of magnets on my things. These are the 3mm by 6mm magnets that you can use. And the reason that I did put this in here rather than use a sliding or a clipping mechanism is when it transforms from sword to blaster and back and forth, there needs to be a gap for it to allow it to bend. And I thought the easiest way is just use some magnets, because if a clipping mechanism is on there, I did design one, it snaps, or if it did break and snap, then you sort of ruin the whole print, you got to print it again, and it's just a waste of time. Magnets stay in place. Now, this emerald green, I did, again, spray paint myself and so forth. You put all the pieces together, they fit into place. You put the gold in, then put the green on top, and it leaves you with this, a really nice look. I have taken some liberties with the design of the golden parts. I have added my own little embellishments, sorry. This isn't, this is close to 1 to 1 you can get. And here's those handle bits I was talking about. So this trigger locks in place the spinning part of the handle. To be honest, it is quite reasonably tight and friction fitted. You don't actually need to use a trigger part. I will say, when I painted it, obviously it does add layers and made it thicker. It was really tough to move this up and down with this version, the painted version I'm doing here. So when you do paint, I wouldn't paint the long stem parts of the trigger, because it does obviously make it really tight and harder to put up and down. But the main purpose of it was just spin the handle a bit, because over time, as you spin and turn it, it will get loose, as you can see there. And then that trigger, you slide it up and down. I thought I was really impressed with this. So it's not that big of a design for it, but just thinking ahead, it locks it in place. You slide it down, it allows it to spin. So when you transform into blaster mode and sword mode, you have that flexibility without having to worry about the handle spinning around in circles, whether you're thinking it's a cosplay event, putting up on a wall, or swinging it around however you want. Again, if you are gonna ensure this, make sure you put the glue in the right place. Don't put it in the slots itself, just attach it so it slides in half. Because if you put it in between the green bits and it gets stuck, it's sort of stuck. But yeah, you can sort of figure that out yourself, common sense, I guess. And that's it. That's how the handle should look once it's all glued together. Just line it up, make sure it's nicely tightly fitted. And then we move on to adding the top half or the other side of it and the pins. So as you can see, this is the central hub. This is what allows the spinning mechanism, allow it to spin around and transform. I am just test fitting this all. Like I said, this is the first time I'm putting it together as well, so I'm test fitting it to make sure it fits, and it does, luckily. And the little pegs that I popped in earlier going through the holes in the center. And this is the other side, which doesn't spin. Simply just glue it in place and it stays there. Obviously, again, the connectors are here. You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but I recommend I did it just so I can align everything nice and straight. But if you're better skilled and less shaky hands than me, you can do it yourself. Now, these are the sliding parts. This way the blade is done, it's sliding into these little slots here, and it reduced the weight of the blade, allowing it to not be so heavy. And if you do break the blade, you can literally slide them out, print new ones, and pop them back in. The other version that I do have, you can also do that, but obviously it uses more material. It is a lot thicker, it's a lot more heavier, so it's more prone to, I guess, breaking if it's a heavy item. If you swing it around, drop it. This is really light, really thin, and this is extendable. So I've never made an extendable weapon. I've 3D printed lightsabers before and all the other things that you flick out, and they're really cool. And I thought, let me try my own version of it. And it, well, I'll give this a grade. It turns out well. It could be done better, but being this my first time, I thought I did pretty well. And I'm lining everything up, make sure everything fits, make sure it works together, and it seems to be going well. Glue these top bits in place, put the little black pegs in. Just see the embellishments again. They do fall out, so I would recommend put a drop of glue in each of the holes and just quickly popping them in as I'm showing you there, and then you're good to go. Then you strop this in the top. Now with these gold bits here attached to the mechanism in the middle, you can glue them in. I didn't, because it is really tightly fitted, but I will glue the two halves together once both halves are completed. Like any of this, I split the item in half down the middle, so the flat sides are done, and it allows less supports, which reduce some filament waste, which is great. and you can just literally glue them half together once in. I am putting the butts at the end of the swords now, as you can see, or the handle of the sword. Again, a bit of glue. There is a support guide there, but you don't need it either, once again. And when you literally push it in, it does hold really tight together when you push these two within the circle nose. But again, just put a bit of glue on one side, squeeze it together, hold it in place for a few seconds, and you're good to go. Same with the handle, put some glue on the end. I'm just test fitting it again to make sure it all fits. There's the spinning mechanism I was talking about. There it goes as it turns. As you can see, when you take out those little triangle bit, it allows that space for the handle to go in. That is why those triangle bits are removed, and because they just quickly pop in, you don't really notice it when the magnet goes back. But put a bit of glue on that side, pop it in the handle, and you're good to go. I am making the rest of the Lost Galaxy weapons as well and designing them. I might even design to get making some Zords and stuff, but there are plenty of designers who are great to do that. Check them out on Instagram. There's plenty of them. They're amazing. They do props and weapons, but here it goes. So with the embellishments for the blade itself, it's a mirrored image. So as long as you put it on one side, you don't glue the opposite side of it, you're gonna be fine. So just double check. I'm just double checking now. Even though I'm telling you what it is, I still double check it myself. I've glued all the gold parts, and then the end silver bit, just as one silver bit. Like again, there are two versions of this blade. Actually, not three versions to be honest. There's a solid one, another retractable one with a more solid center, which is more heavier, and then there's a version that I'm showing you now, which is the lightest of the three. Once you're glued together, make sure they are aligned. Glue the edges, not the center, because you don't want the blade to be stuck in the middle. Be generous with the glue, hold it in place, let it dry solid, and if you need to melt a bit of plastic inside, do so as well. I did do it off camera, just use a bit of a light flame just to heat up and melt the plastic, soften it, and then stick it together as well as the glue, which really holds that bond and just tightens together. Or if you've got really good glue, there you go. And once you glue it together, you slot them inside each other from the smallest to the biggest, and then you pop it into the blade handle just like this, and there you go, flipped out and looking amazing. And if you pull it out all the way and it falls out, don't worry, you can sort of pull it apart, but just don't pull it all the way out, it will fall out. But I did try to angle it to make it tight, and that is what it looks like in Storm. I'm really impressed. Like, I'm really impressed with it's come. No, I made it myself, but I'm surprised it came out as well, which is weird. And then when you want to transform it, you just put the handle on, take out those triangle sections, and it slots all the way in up into the triangle bit. It's designed to fit, so, and there you go. Bish, bash, bosh, done. It's in blaster mode, looks good, cocks well. And I want to thank everyone for watching, sticking around. I will catch you on the next video. More exciting things coming to Mr. Campbell Prince. But with that being said and done, let's get on to the glamour shots. Let's go!
Welcome to the realm where fantasies take flight. Mr. Campbell Prince, let your spirit